Hey everybody, it's your boy here, and we are back. We got some more Fire Emblem Heroes, so I don't know what that intro was, but whatever. So today we got the new Double Special Heroes banner, so we can go over here and take a look at the banner, and I have to say this has got to be one of the most unfortunate Double Special Heroes banners of all time, because we look at the units on here, and there's actually some pretty good units here, or at least, I mean, there were, quote-unquote, were good units on here up until the release of this nonsense-ass Christmas banner that just broke the meta. So, pretty much, the two main units on here that I would say are, like, really worth looking into as far as like offensive threats. So we have the Wind Tribe Kaigo, and then we also have the Spring Carla here. Both of them have been completely usurped from their roles by units on this Christmas banner over here. So Yunaka is just a Kaigo with more firepower. She nullifies DR. She's got a better base kit with Flared Sparrow and Assassin Strike. Better fodder by that extension. And then look at this freaking litany of a weapon here. This is a literal novel, and Kaigo doesn't have that. Now, Kaigo does have a duo skill, and it gives her +1 movement, which is very good. I'm not going to say anything bad about that. The bonus movement is actually one thing that's still in Kaigo's favor. And she does also have the only instance of Disarm Trap 4, so that's still pretty good, but like, I mean, why wouldn't you just summon for Yunaka over here when you're also possibly getting Dimitri, who just completely axed, no pun intended, that Spring Carla? Because the main good thing about that Spring Carla is that she nullifies DR and she was a melee type. That used to be a unique thing. Like, no other unit could do that besides, like, Altina and some select few melee types, but not anymore. So, no quarter is here. You just give this to whoever, and then all of a sudden, everyone can pierce DR. Every melee-type unit with a sword, axe, or a lance. So, and not only that, too, but that Spring Carla is primarily a player phaser, right? She's still really good on the player phase. She can nuke most things. But enemy phase, not so much. She ain't really putting in work on the enemy phase. This guy actually can, with his ability to gain Vantage and his also 40% DR on Brave attacks, which I guess that's also part of his B skill. So, a unit that has an enemy phase, a better player phase overall than that Bunny Carla, better fodder. He's got attack and speed prime 4 and no quarters. So, like, if you were even considering summoning on this double special banner, I have to slap you upside the head, man. Like, why not just summon more on the Christmas banner? There's 4 sparks on here, and you don't need the Fey Pass to do it, whereas over here, you need the Fey Pass to spark. And even then, like, there's really nothing here that's gonna take the place of any of the stuff on the Christmas banner. Now that I've gone ahead and digressed there, let's actually take a look at each color and see if anything is worth sniping. So on red, we have both of the Demote heroes. So we have Ash, and then we have also the Flavia. Now, Flavia is the best Demote sword cavalry in the game. The one that's not seasonal locked is Kent, and he's okay. He's not the worst thing in the world, but Flavia has much better stats overall. She's got a super boon on both attack and speed, and the stat spread on Flavia is just way better. Also, that artwork is chef's kiss. Very, very wonderful artwork. Now, as far as fodder is concerned, she's got Harsh Command Plus, which is pretty good for a Demote. Also, she has Attack and Defense Clash 4 and Rouse Attack Speed 3. So, you could use those to pick up some better stuff like Alarm Attack Speed and also Attack and Defense Clash 4. Pretty good pickup fodder skills. And her weapon, let's see here. If you initiate or are in 2 spaces of an ally, you get all stats of 4, and then a penalty on all the enemy's stats times 2 of their current penalty. So basically, like, just penalty magnification on the enemies. Not really that big of a deal. There's definitely better swords. The Arcane Sword that we have, the Arcane Devourer, is definitely what you want to give her. And then the Springtime Ash here, he's pretty good. He's a flying red dagger, which is a pretty rare color and type combo. And he's also got decent fodder. He's got attack and speed rain 3. Pretty good for picking up the, the snap skill that the Halloween Anna had. And then he also has attack and speed catch 3, which is pretty good for level 4. Although we've gotten to the point where we're out the door on catches and ideals. So they're not really the best in slot ace skills anymore for infantry and armors for ideals, and then cavalry and flyers for catch. We're already looking at stuff like Flared Sparrow, Prime 4, and so on and so forth. So not the craziest father there. He does have a double rally plus, though, and then his weapon here, let's see, gives him attack and speed up 5, and then 30% DR on the enemy's first attack, which is not brave attack DR like we're starting to see now, so that's unfortunate. He is a good merge project, though, if you're interested, just like Flavia. So red is okay if you're looking for a plus 10 on a 4-star demote. Then on blue, we've got the T-Time Sigurd, who is he the best unit on the banner? Well, I can't say he's the best unit when there's this Wind Tribe Kaigo, but he's not replaced by anything on the Christmas banner, of course, because his special, Chivalric Aura, is still able to grant +1 movement to your whole party, which is still one of the most disgusting effects that they could have ever given. So it's really nice to have that. He can't pierce DR, though, and we've gotten to the point now where, like, everything is piercing DR. So not being able to do that, I wouldn't have held it against him before, but now that the meta is trending in that direction, and we're also looking at, like, massive amounts of power creep, who knows what the New Year banner is going to be at this point. So, I'm not as high on him as I was when he came out, unfortunately. He has Remote Sturdy, and then he's got Seal Res 4 as his fodder skills, which... Remote Sturdy is okay. I mean, just like Remote Sparrow, it's pretty solid. Gives him a lot of DR on initiation, and you can combo that further with the, that Echo Seal that gives you 30% DR when you initiate and +2 speed. I can never remember the name of that one. What is it called again? Oh, man, it doesn't matter. You guys know which one I'm talking about. So, I feel like that skill kind of undermines Remote Sparrow and Remote Sturdy a little, because you can just get that out of your Echo skill, and then you're free to run, like, Flared Sparrow or Flared Mirror instead to get more DPS. Alright, then we have the Bride Sayri here, who has one of the more valuable fodder skills on the whole banner, which is Speed and Defense Rain Snap. Now, I think I do prefer the one that the Halloween Anna came with, which is Attack and Speed Rain Snap. And the reason why I like that one a little better is because it's better for raising your bulk. So, when you would use this skill, you would want it on a, like, frontline type of melee flyer that can, like, go in the front and then have a good matchup in melee combat, have a lot of survivability. This one is more focused on doing a lot of DPS, because you're lowering their speed and defense, but lowering their speed and attack is going to let you tank a little bit better. So I think I have a preference for the other one, but this is not bad by any means. Still a very, very good skill. And that's pretty much all she wrote with this unit. There's not really much else to say. Her weapon is not even as good as Arcane Lewin. I don't think so, at least. What do we got here? -1 special trigger, all stats of 5. 25% speed and defense debuff on the enemy, with a max of 10, pretty much. 40% DR, and then +1 special trigger. Okay, it's not bad. It's at least as good as Lewin, even though Lewin's giving you no follow-up and, like, lull speed and defense, which are also really strong effects. And then Life and Death 4, whatever, who cares about that? So, blue is okay, I guess. Alright, then we have green here with the Spring Carla, who I've already said is just not as valuable anymore as she was now that no quarter is a thing. She does get the special ramping immediately, though. She gets -2 from her weapon and then also from the duo skill, which is pretty good. Like, just giving -2 cooldown to all allies from the same titles, FE7 in this case, and Fire Emblem Heroes. Heroes is a really good roster, so this is a nice cooldown reduction cost for all of your Heroes units. However, the fodder is not really there so much. Attack and Speed Clash 4 is okay. Speed Smoke 4 is okay, but not on the same level as No Quarter or Attack and Speed Prime 4 as we saw on Dimitri. So I can't in good conscience recommend this unit anymore, even though she was really good prior to, like, what just happened. Alright, then we also have this Tana over here. This is the Flame Tribe Tana, who I don't even know what she's doing here. Like, why is she on this banner? She's from, like, a million banners ago. I guess this is, like, their time to rerun her. This unit's okay. Like, if you can give them Guidance 4 and Soaring Guidance, I think they're a really nice user of that skill, because they also give the Kanto support on their weapon, and they can use the Harmonic skill to give a dance action to allies from Sacred Stones and Heroes. Heroes is a really good roster, like we said earlier, so that's okay. but fodder skill-wise, they're not really the greatest. Speed and defense hold, we ain't really looking at holds anymore on these flyers. And then attack and speed catch 4, as I said, is out the door as well. So, a little unfortunate for them. And then finally, on colorless, we have the second, or I guess tied most valuable unit on the banner. So their duo skill gives them the bonus movement, also gives them -1 special trigger, and this one is reusable, which is pretty nice, just like the Thief Nina that they were kind of molded after. I feel like Thief Nina was the blueprint for this unit, and then they're not even directly better than Thief Nina, they're just like a side grade, kind of. Because instead of having Kanto Rem, they have Kanto Distant. Or not Kanto Rem, what is the one that Nina had? I think it was Kanto Recall, where she goes back to her original space. So, they're really good. They're not bad by any means. They can certainly dominate enemies, especially if the enemy has no access to Kanto Control, which the same can be said about Yunaka and Thief Nina also. Like, these cavalry dagger types with the big Kanto to get out of the way, and then also possibly getting bonus movement, like in the case of Kaigo and Nina, they can cook, for sure. But then you got to consider also maybe Turmoil is in play if we're talking about summoner duels, or maybe you've got like a Pathfinder chain going on or something to allow Yunaka to outreach these two. And if that's the case, then Yunaka's just strictly better because her superior player phase, she also has all the offensive DR that these units don't have. So I don't know, man. I can't, once again, I can't give much of a nod to this unit anymore now that like the meta has entered the next level. And their color sharing with Elise here, Duo Elise is still pretty solid for fodder. At least up until the point they decide to give us an arcane staff. I don't know why they do not give staff units anything. We got like a couple of units in a row that were kind of buffing staffs. So we had like Fallen Maria, we had Duo Elise, we had the Ascended Alencia. And they kind of just like slowed down after that. We haven't really gotten another big time staff unit besides those three. And Elise is really good. Like, she gives dominance on her duo skill, which is very powerful, of course. Still one of the best effects that you can give. Then their weapon is really strong. They have a lot of staff fodder, like Poetic Justice, Odd Recovery, Holy Pressure, Return. Really good fodder on this unit, and a really good unit to use. So I'm not going to fault them, even though, like, you can't really get the most out of them yet. Because we don't have an arcane staff to really, like, push some of the other staff units over the top. But I'm not going to knock them. So colorless, I would say, is definitely in first place here. If you're going to summon on the banner for a unit, then you probably want to go for colorless. If you're trying to go for fodder, there's actually a couple of things you could be aiming for. Like, colorless is still pretty good for fodder. We have Disarm Trap 4, Remote Sparrow, and then all of these good staff skills. And then I would say blue is probably in second place for fodder, because we have Speed and Defense Rain Snap there, and then this guy's got Remote Sturdy. So colorless is in first for me, followed by blue. I would say, do I actually have red ahead of green? Even though both of the demotes are on red, I might still have red over green here. Just because, like, these demotes are actually, like, worth building if you get them to +10 if you're interested. Obviously, a +10 Carla is going to be way better than Flavia, but the problem is Carla's niche is no longer really as exciting as it used to be with no quarter in play. So, there you guys go. That is my thoughts on this double special banner. I already did my free pull, and I got jank. I got a 3-star Claire. So, that's going to wrap us up for this video, guys. Let me know in the comment section down below if you're going in, but I would say if you are still in the mood to do summons, you should probably aim them over here instead of on that double special banner, or just save up, because in a couple of days we're going to be getting the legendary trailer as well. So you may want to stay tuned to see what's on there. Also, New Year's is in a week or two, so that's another thing to look forward to. Definitely, this is like, I would say this is bait, but they've already like killed all the good bait on here anyway, so this is a safe skip. That's my final assessment. So, this is your boy Tacho signing out. Take care, fellas, and I'll catch y'all again on the flip side.